bada bing, bada boom. We have a review of the M16A4. Hello, everybody, and welcome to my channel. I hope you enjoy your stay. As always, thank you for tuning in with me as we review the M16. Now, I know this is a long video, and I know you may be saying, bitch, I don't got 15 minutes to watch a motherfucking video. So, let me reason with you. Let's compromise. Let's work this out gracefully. I'm going to be reviewing the M16 in about 5 minutes, 6 minutes tops. And then I'm going to be talking about a variety of other issues and other things in terms of Battlefield. I'm going to be talking about the difference between an M4 and an M16A4, and I will be breaking down different styles of gameplay, so on and so forth. But that will be later on in the video, so if you have the time to stick around, feel free. If not, it's all good. With that said, let's break it down. Let's get right into the M16A4. Now, when I use this gun, I really felt like a tactical motherfucker. And that's partly because it's a burst fire weapon. It has, I think it's either a 3-round or a 2-round burst. It fires at about 800 RPM. And statistically, it's not crazy. It's not, you know, your reload times, whatever, it's normal. Everything's normal. The recoil pushes a little bit more to the right, so you have to compensate for that, but it's not noticeable with the right attachments. So, you can see, as I'm playing here, you will find that I'm being a little bit more tactical. I'm getting into more long-range engagements. I'm getting on top of buildings. I'm really trying to cover my teammates, because you will find, when using this gun, it does not baby you, like an Ace does, or a SAR-21, or any other gun with low recoil. This gun has a fair amount of recoil, and it's a burst-fire weapon. So, you gotta make sure that, 1, you know what you're doing. 2, you have to be accurate as fuck. It took me about 5 games to get a gameplay that I was satisfied with, because it's a pain in the ass to use this gun if you don't know what you're doing. This is for Battlefield veterans only. If you're new to the game and you're pissed off that I'm saying that, don't be. There are plenty of other guns. There is a plethora of guns for you to use at your disposal to really get you situated into the game. However, the M16 is incredibly powerful. It's incredibly accurate. But if you don't know what you're doing, you're going to get raped. And the reason I say that is because of a few reasons. Let's say you're new to the game, and you're like, oh, well, Hectic's full of shit. I'm just going to use the M16, and he can suck my dick, and I'm going to be great at it. Well, calm down there, all right? Let's chill, Raging Bull, all right? One thing you'll notice when you use this gun, when you decide to play by yourself and you spawn on teammates, you will get raped. Because teammates who aren't, you know, your friends or anything like that, they will be in the midst of a firefight. They will try and get in engagements, and you'll spawn up, and it'll take 3 seconds for you or more to, you know, really get into the swing of things and be aware of your surroundings, and you'll probably get shot in the back. So, you need to be able to just spawn randomly. That's what I really highly advise here. Spawn randomly. Do not take a teammate spawn unless you are 100% positive that he is in the clear, or else it's game over. Okay, and you'll see if you decide to watch the whole gameplay that there are a few times where an enemy tries to spawn on his teammate and he just gets obliterated. I think there's one time in particular where this guy spawns on his teammate and he just and I'm right behind him and I just kill both of them, and it's just like, game over, bitch. So don't do that. Don't be silly. If you're going to use this gun, be accurate, be tactical. You know what? Feel like you're on a fucking SWAT team. If you're squatted up with your friends, have 2 people run M16s, everyone else run PDWs, carbines, and just run through the opposition. This gun is used to get a lot of kills. It's used to be played with in a smart manner. You gotta really know what you're doing. Accuracy is key when it comes to the M16. If you're new to video games, don't use this gun, okay? Good. If you're an M16 enthusiast, because I know a lot of people are really in love with the M16, don't worry, there's plenty of guns to get you up to speed. I'd recommend using a SAR-21, an Ace, an AK-12. Those guns will really get you in the right direction to using an M16 effectively. You want to be effective, you want to be accurate. You need to know how to control your recoil when using this gun, okay? Now, for the most part, if your playstyle is accuracy and being smart and putting yourself in the right positions at the right times to support your teammates and rack up a lot of kills, this is the gun for you. If you like to run around and get in people's faces, I do not recommend this gun, because when I use this gun, I use an angled foregrip and a muzzle brake. And the reason I do that is because an angled foregrip will give you no recoil on your first shot, or it decreases the first shot recoil by, like, a lot. And also, the muzzle brake decreases your overall recoil. So when you burst the gun, every time you burst the gun, that first bullet will be highly accurate. and then you have the other 2 bullets, which are affected by the muzzle brake. And overall, the whole burst is affected by the muzzle brake. You essentially have a gun which is very easy to control, but you have to be careful, because if you decide to spam the trigger and go full auto on someone, the angled foregrip becomes useless. I think this is just the way it feels to me. Whenever I decide to go full auto on someone, the angled foregrip stops working. It registers me as using the gun at full auto rather than burst firing. Even though I'm tapping the trigger a lot, it still feels like it becomes highly inaccurate, like the angled foregrip just stops working. So make sure when you use this gun, you burst it slowly. For instance, 1, 2, 3, 4, not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You see what I'm saying? When you're pulling the trigger on your controller. So that's what really was effective for me, guys. That pretty much wraps up the M16A4 review. Now, one thing I want to get into, because a lot of people don't understand the difference between a carbine and an assault rifle. And for a while, I didn't either. I thought that a carbine was just a gun that maybe fired a little faster or maybe gave you a little bit more mobility. But what I did to figure out this little conundrum that I had was I went onto simthic.com. This website has so many statistics. It's almost overwhelming how many statistics this fucking website has. And I noticed that when you compared the M16 versus the M4 in a simple comparison, not looking at just the overall statistics and really digging in, just looking at a simple comparison, you will see that the advantages of an assault rifle are basically it has more damage at long range, its drop-off range ends a little farther, the bullets fly faster, the reloads can be faster depending on the gun, and in general, it is just more accurate when you're aiming in. However, on the flip side of the coin, on the other side of the equation, if you will, you have the M4, which has much more accuracy when it comes to base spread. So your reticule might be a little more inward. I mean, here are the statistics. I can read them to you right off the website. I encourage you guys to check this out for yourself. The M4 has 20% lower ADS base spread while moving, 33% lower hip base spread, standing, not moving, 40% lower hip base spread. So when you're shooting from the hip, the M4 on the carbine side of things is much more accurate. In general, carbines are better up close and personal. Assault rifles are better at long range. That's because they do more damage at farther distances. Okay? So, for the most part, I just think that if you are a range type person, then assault rifles are the way for you to go. If you're a person who likes really high rate of fire guns, likes to get in people's faces, carbines in general are the way to go. Now, there are many variations to this. Let's say you like to be super aggressive, but at the same time you need a gun that works really well up close and at long range. Well, maybe the carbine is for you. Maybe you like to be a little bit more passive. Maybe you like to be more defensive, but you like to run around a lot and you need a gun that fires long range and can handle shit up close. Maybe using a FAMAS is the gun for you. Or another gun, maybe an AK-12. Any gun on terms of the assault rifles would be good for you. If it's good up close and personal, that will probably also translate to longer range engagements as well, just because it's an assault rifle, and assault rifles are fucking awesome. So, with that said, I really think that kind of ends the comparison between the M4 and the M16A4. Also, if you're going to use the M16, I guess I kind of forgot this. If you're still watching, bear with me. When you use an M16, you want to be very careful. You'll notice throughout the gameplay that I tried to do a good job of rotating. Now, what is rotating? What do I mean when I say rotation? When I say rotation, I'm talking about if I'm on top of a building and I get 1 to 2 kills, all of a sudden, a few people start to realize that you're on top of this building. If you kill a few more people, then more and more people will start to notice you. Basically, think about it like this. The longer that you stay in a position and kill people, the hotter that position gets. The more that team will focus on you. And you'll see there's one particular point in this gameplay where I'm on a rooftop and I'm just lighting people up. All of a sudden, the entire team starts running at me and they're underneath me and they're swarming around the building. And I stayed there way too long. If you're going to use a gun that is great at long range, you have to be very good and diligent about getting 2 to 3 kills, moving to another spot. 2 to 3 kills, moving to another spot. Now, I don't mean random locations either. One great tip that I found just through playing with people who are much better than me is I would shoot long range, I'd get a few kills, and then I would jump off of the building and I'd look at the entrance of the building. Because typically when you kill somebody long range, they get super mad. They say, oh, this fucking guy, I'm just gonna fucking kill him, I'm just gonna run at him. And then, you know, 2 or 3 people start to run at you, and they'll say, okay, how do I get up to the roof? They'll find the entrance of the building, and if you're in the perfect position after killing them to look at the entrance, then you can just lay waste to the squad. So that's just an example of staying 2 to 3 steps ahead of your opponent. An example of being able to just go on ridiculous killing sprees while also being effective at supporting your team. Just because you get a lot of kills does not mean that you aren't good at helping your team. There's this wild misconception that if you get a lot of kills, that somehow you're a kill whore and you don't care about helping your team. That's nonsense. That's complete bullshit. Typically, people who are good at getting a lot of kills are people who help out their team in the best way. I find that kill whores are the people that may only go 10-1 in a game, or 9-1 in a game, who care so much about their KD that they will camp in a corner and not do anything for their team. They won't do shit for their team, and they would rather have a high KD than help out their team. Someone who goes 45-15 or 45-20, that's an invaluable asset to your team. That's a fucking pit bull, and you need to utilize them. I'm not saying I'm like that, because there's definitely games where I just get completely demolished, because I'm not a first-person type of dude, but just through experience and through playing with people who are better than me, I've become a little bit better. So I find that people who say, you know, oh, you got a lot of kills, that means you're a kill whore. That's just not true. That means that if we storm into a position, if we storm into the area, then I'm going to try and pick up a lot of kills. And rather than sitting around and capturing the objective, I'm going to run to the objective that they're about to go take, and I'm going to stop them again, and I'm going to try and stop them again. And I might die, but you know what? I'm going to do my fucking best to slow them down. That way, when my team's moving up like a SWAT team, I'm just running in there like a fucking crazy person and trying to stir up as much trouble as I can so the rest of my squad can come in and bang them out like fucking soldiers. So that's probably the most important thing that I want to just give to you guys, because in the battlefield scene, I don't want to say there's this elitism, because, well, there is. Come on, let's be real here. There's a little bit of elitism in the battlefield community. Level Cap's talked about it. I don't know if Jack Frags has talked about it, but I've noticed it, and I've noticed other commentators talk about it. And I feel like that also kind of comes into play when it comes into people who think that others are just kill whores, or you're just a Call of Duty noob. I've gotten that a few times. Oh, you're just a Call of Duty player who just cares about kills. No, motherfucker. I travel to tournaments and I compete. I practice my ass off. I spend money to get, you know, the best gaming equipment, so that way I'm an invaluable asset to my team, because I'm a nerd and I like to play video games. So if you encounter someone who gets a lot of kills a game, or if you're a player who gets a lot of kills a game, don't fall into that trap of someone calling you a kill whore and you talking shit to them. Just tell them, or look at someone who gets a lot of kills and be like, okay, this is an invaluable asset to my team. I should communicate with him. I should tell him, you know, okay, you know, we're securing this objective. All right, hey, man, can you go push up and, you know, try and get a little crazy over at B-side base? You know, that's the proper approach to the situation. Not to get all pissed off because someone else is just getting a lot of kills. That's just silly. That's just nonsense. And on top of that, someone who gets a lot of kills, they might show you a thing or two to make you a better killer as well. Again, I'm not saying that I'm like this. I was like that in other games. But I just think, you know, I have some experience, and I just want to share that with you guys. And this is just a gameplay that I stumbled upon that I was, you know, okay at, and I just wanted to bring to you guys. So that kind of does it for me. One thing that I want to point out before we end this commentary is I may not post up as many videos in the future, maybe only 1 a day or 2. Well, it depends. Because I need to get the money to have the Xbox One. And I have everything lined up. Everything is set to go for me to get the Xbox One, but it requires work. Pretty much redoing a lot of aspects of my house at the moment to renovate a lot of things. And I'm still living with my parents. I'm 21, and I'm getting paid. I also had a job earlier, and that helped me in that regard as well. But for the most part, I am just renovating my house, painting a lot, doing a lot of work on the side. That way I can get the Xbox One. So I'm not going to have as much time in the next few days to do YouTube, but I will make sure to at least post up 1 gameplay a day. Hopefully I can do 2 or 3. That would be awesome. It really just depends, and we'll see how we go. But I'm just pumped, man. I'm so excited for the Xbox One. I know a few of you have been asking me, hey, you know, are you getting the Xbox One? Are you upgrading to next gen? Fuck yeah, bitch, I'm upgrading to next gen. And you know what? Oh, God, all of you guys are going to add me, too. You're going to add me, and we're going to have fucking fun, dude. We're going to play 32 on 32. Dude, I would be so excited if we could have a 32 on 32, like, subscriber fucking battle. You know what I mean? That would be so epic to me. Anyways, I'm out, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Sorry for the long gameplay. Keep it real, keep it easy, and I hope you have a beautiful weekend. Peace, motherfuckers.